In this video, we talk about my life gains transformation. Back in about 2007 is when I first started competing, 2008-ish, and I was always in really good shape and worked out a lot and ended up competing in bodybuilding and ended up falling in love with the sport to where I basically wanted to start coaching people, and then eventually got into powerlifting, which kind of got me out of kind of a funk at one time where I was in a deep, dark place in my life for a short period of time, and powerlifting kind of got me out of that and kind of fell in love with the sport again in a sense. But kind of fast forward a couple years, business picked up quite a bit, and got to the point where I competed in my first pro show, and things started getting a little bit overwhelming to where I was trying to keep up with my own stuff, my own personal lifting and powerlifting, doing some competitive shows and powerlifting, and kind of fell out of the loop a little bit in terms of my own personal stuff because business started picking up really heavily to where my focus started shifting to clients quite a bit in business. And then also we opened a gym, and my workouts and everything started kind of like taking the back end of everything to where I just pretty much stopped lifting for like 6 to 8 weeks once we, in the transition of opening a gym. And then once I got into that hole of not working out, it just was easier and easier to just give it up. And said goodbye to my diet, said goodbye to lifting, said goodbye to my gains, said goodbye to my muscle, said goodbye to everything, me personally. So, but I had a lot of fulfillment from clients and also how good they were doing with their success to where that was my happiness, and also my personal life was my happiness. But in terms of business and what we do with clients, that was really kind of filling the void of my fulfillment. And then it came to a point where I was kind of basically losing that fulfillment a little bit. So I started moving to other things in terms of like building the business even more in different ways, where I was doing marketing strategies and trying to build a bigger team and trying to do more stuff in the industry and do more than what I can handle and what the team could handle. And kind of putting a lot of overwhelming tasks on us as a team. It kind of wore on all of us in a sense to where I just kept grinding and thinking I would just push through it. And just come to find out that I was just kind of lost in my own world to where I just didn't work out much, to where I got to the point where I started losing the passion a little bit for coaching to a certain extent. And I end up trying to find it again. Then things got to the point to where I felt really bad about myself, and I'm not the type of person that is like that. I'm pretty positive overall. I felt really run down quite a bit, and that's my own fault. There's nobody else that caused that or anything, where I was staying up late and overworking myself more than just working out or doing anything that I loved. And it came to the point where it was wearing on my personal life or my personal relationship with my wife. I was wearing on things around me to where I was wearing out my team and wearing everybody out, and including myself. So I kind of lost myself in the muck, and I didn't take care of myself as much. And it got to the point where I think it was starting to reflect maybe on clients in a sense. To a certain point, maybe they didn't notice it, but to me, I noticed it because I put a high standard in what I do. So me personally, I had to kind of pull myself back once I started realizing that I was being an idiot. And my threshold kind of hit where I have a high threshold for tolerance to a certain extent for certain things, for many things. And once I started hitting that threshold of that tolerance, I finally realized that I need to put myself back into what I really love to do, instead of trying to push myself into something that I shouldn't do. In terms of finally came to realize that I gotta hire more people to help us with other tasks so that we're not overwhelming ourselves, and also becoming more productive in the areas that I'm good at, instead of trying to force things that's not there, or force things that I shouldn't be doing. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. kind of thing, or you shouldn't give up the sacrifice of your life to try and do things just to get to a certain point. You don't have to kill yourself to get there. There's really no point in doing that. And so I've come to realize that I need to step up my game again and go back to what I've started doing and the reason why I went into coaching. And over the last few months, I've really, with the help of my team, Leanne, David, Nicole, my wife, everybody around me, kind of helped me pull back a little bit, especially Leanne, kind of helped me shed some light on the whole perspective of it. And it's one of those things I realized that I need to go back to doing the things that I love, and that the things that what made me the way I am today, and the way I used to be when I was coaching, to where I kind of fell out of that. So basically, I'm kind of going back to working out again hard, and putting myself first putting myself as a priority, I should say, instead of always trying to put everyone else as priority. Putting people as a priority is definitely important, and I will do that to a certain extent with my clients and family and loved ones. But I got to the point where I didn't put myself first at all, and it wore on me to where it wore me down, and it kind of hurt others around me more than it did benefit anybody. So with that said, I've come to realize and believe that I basically have to be able to help myself first before I can give to others that I want to give, not just a little bit, but give everything to them. So, but when I do, I've learned over the last few months that when I work out again, like when I diet and eat better, I just feel better about myself, because before I didn't feel good at all. Felt actually more crappy. So I kind of lost myself. So now I'm kind of pull myself back, and this whole series of I guess about me is trying to get my shit together, and I'd love for you guys to kind of follow it and watch the muck and the vulnerability and the crap that I've been through, but then also the amazing stuff that's going to be happening moving forward with business, personal life, and how awesome it really can be, especially with coaching and being around people that are really amazing in your life. So hope you guys can join me, and this will be a lot of fun.
I'm sick and tired of living in LA, where the sun is out but there's so much change.